Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where today, let's just get this out of the way. I realize now, as I click on the button, that greed mode is the only thing I've done as Lilith, and I should perhaps consider playing a different mode as Lilith, but you know, it'll happen eventually. I've only really picked random in the regular mode, I suppose, so, you know. It is what it is, but ultimately this is still a very good character for this mode. Now, one thing that I still want to do is to have the ball of bandages show up here. So I might, after this run, just spend some time to try and get a ball of bandages to show up just for the sake of basically unlocking the bandage gold transformation and as such the bandage, because it's just a very nice thing to have out of the way. Either way, for now, we have two friends. They are going to be doing the attacking, and I'm hoping that I can survive through this darkness because it is a little bit harder to see. And genuinely, I haven't played this mode in a bit because I just like the regular mode a little bit more. But I do have a bunch of unlocks. There is still roughly 33 unlocks remaining for this mode after all, so it is important that we play it from time to time. But it is, on occasion, going to be forgotten. It is kind of nice, I guess, when you get those enemies that spawn a bomb when they die, to have it be the champion that turns into a pile of goo afterwards, because it means they're going to end up destroying themselves, so that is very nice. But this character is probably the easiest character to play this mode with, as you do get oh so many friends to work with. Obviously, again, for the Ultra Greed fight, it can be a little fiddly if your range is not particularly good, so I'm not overly bothered with starting off the run with a range up, because it can end up being pretty okay. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as something like a Tech 10 or something, or just Tech in general, but hopefully we can get something like that. I'm not sure if Tech affects Succubus actually, or if Succubus only shoots tears. But I'm sure as we move on, we're going to find out maybe the answer to one of these questions if we're lucky. And that's what we're hoping for. Something is causing explosions in the distance. I'm going to choose to ignore it for now and simply continue to attack as many enemies as possible. And it looks like, since the timer ran out a little bit quicker there, that we have actually reached the final wave and all the enemies are dead. So where things are looking up. I don't want to leave the room immediately after we're done with this wave because I don't want to lose all my succubi. But it looks like we should be ready to fight some bosses here. I think I'll just use it one more time here. Just to make sure that we're going to deal as much damage as possible on this floor. And since we don't get an extra item right now until we're done with all of these fights, it's kind of nice to like guarantee that you do as much damage as possible. Plus, it's only going to be two bosses anyway, so I'm feeling fairly confident that this will be okay. I gotta watch out for the poop dash, I guess, and the tears that he shoots as well. And I chose one of the two, unfortunately, and focused on the wrong thing, but I'm sure it'll end up working out in the long run. Now, I'm hoping that since we're playing the easiest character, that we can also get pretty far in terms of getting money into the machine, but once again, it is not my ultimate goal for a run like this. For Greedier mode, I specifically just want to beat it, and whatever money we can put in there, the better, but if it's going to be a low amount, it's going to be a low amount in the end. I'm not sure if I want to go for devil deals this time around, because angel rooms are just very good, but I don't hate the idea either. I don't have a lot of health to play with though, and that is kind of putting me off from trying. And thinking about it, yeah, with that in mind, I think I'd rather just go for an angel room on the next floor, and hopefully we can make something work there. So I'm just gonna buy one key. Little tempted by the soul hearts here and the red chest over there as well. This could be kinda good, I guess, because if we respawn as the blue baby, it's still a character that I still need to do it with anyway. So I don't mind that too much. I'm gonna try this and regret it in a second. It ended up being okay. And with that, I'm gonna buy just one key and 2 soul hearts and then leave, I think. For this first floor, it's not the greatest floor by far, but It's an acceptable one, I suppose. I'm hoping the Cambion Combustion, or whatever it's called, I really need to learn the name of that item, is going to give us a couple more followers to play with, as well as it does end up helping us out in the long run. But if it doesn't, then fair enough, I suppose. Experimental treatment could be okay. I don't hate it. And Necronomicon is definitely not as good as the Box of Friends, unfortunately. I'm just gonna take it. Let's see what we get. Lower tier rate, higher everything else, less health. That's not great, but not terrible. It's more or less the description of the item, really. This is an instance of Birthright not working on a character, just has no effect yet, so that's a little unfortunate in the end, but we'll just have to make do. The lower tier rate is a problem. I don't like that even remotely. So that concerns me somewhat. I'm tempted by the gold chest because it can contain bombs and that could end up being useful. At least the first wave is just a couple mushrooms, so if I can clear one of those, then at least it'll be a little bit safer. And I don't need to worry about the... If I just don't go to the top of the screen, then we should be okay. It can be a little fiddly with these holes in the floor here, but not impossible to manage. Plus most of the enemies appear to be running up, so I'm hoping that's not going to be a problem either. There's a lot of I'm hoping going on here, but hopefully, as I say, hope one more time, it's going to be good enough. Just going to vote for good enough. Yeah, Tears Down was probably the worst one I could have gotten with that experimental treatment, unfortunately. And I specifically got hit by the champion there. It doesn't help that all of these champions don't immediately die. Like the green one is going to explode into multiple enemies when it dies, and the red one turned into goop, but we're getting through it just fine. I'm happy that I bought those soul hearts at least, because otherwise my health situation would be abysmal at this point, but it's still not ideal. There's a couple jumping enemies there which I need to be wary of because they can just suddenly jump on my head like so. I think that's the last one though, so that's good. Getting a lot of those champions that don't die immediately, which is not helping out either, but it's not completely unmanageable. Plus we do still have the safety net of the blue baby revival as well, but it's not something that I want to try and depend on, because I'd rather just be Lilith for a while. Lilith is just a lot better at this mode, so I'd much rather have that. Also the fact that like the Holy Mantle effect of the Lost, this character doesn't have the succubus as an item, so if I end up basically turning into the blue baby, then I will not have this follower anymore, and my box of friends will be a lot worse. So it would be nice if that ends up going okay. Fortunately, that second jump wasn't as quick, and he's almost dead already, so that is looking positive. And this is not the worst boss to get either, simply because I just die really quickly. So looking pretty good, looking okay, looking manageable at least. I'm curious what we're going to get out of our angel room. We should have a 100% chance of an angel room, as we skipped the previous one. And let's see if we can complete this wave without death. We are a little low on health for sure, and they are spawning a large quantity of enemies, which is not great, but not completely impossible, fortunately, because we are shooting a large quantity of tears. But I'm a little concerned for sure. I am quite concerned about our current situation. And I'm hoping that things are going to be okay, but it's getting a little hard to manage when they're spawning this many enemies. It can make it rather difficult to move around after all. I'm not sure who I had been focusing down this entire time, but I'm hoping that I'm picking the right target here. From the look of our health bar, I'm going to say that I'm not. But one of them ended up dying in the end. So far, okay. My health is... yeah, my health is really bad. I need to definitely worry about that a bit, but we can do Guardian Angel or the Urn of Souls, and the Urn of Souls is an active item. This is part of Conjoined, which is obviously quite good as this character. I just don't love what it does to orbitals, because they do end up flying really quickly, but fair enough. The raw liver is tempting in case we do get a devil deal. Plus it's 2 health. It's a little bit of an expensive 2 health, but it is red hearts as well, and with this character that's still manageable. And that is a bomb. I can at least blow up these 2 shopkeepers for a little bit more money, I'm hoping. No, that's About as good as that could have gone. I ended up getting a free key in the end because of it, because we got our 5 coins back. Did I get any? I got half a soul heart effectively for free. You could argue. Not really the best haul ever, but not terrible. And we ended up recharging our item by killing the enemies at the last room there. So far it's going. It's not the best trip I've ever made in greed mode, but it's traveling, I suppose. This is not bad in that it heals me at least, and it's a luck up as well, which could be useful. The sharp key gives me 5 keys, which is obviously rather nice, but I also kind of like the speed up. This could be really nice if I could get it. This is also really good. There's actually, I don't think I have enough money on this floor to realistically get everything that I want. So let's see if we can get a little bit more by doing this. It's not guaranteed, of course, but this time it did end up giving us 2 more coins. But I really do like the speed up, though. I'm part of the Spun transformation. Yeah, that's a tricky one. The Bone Heart is very tempting as well, but not immediately necessary. This, I think, is okay. And I'm a little curious if we're going to get multiple Guardian Angels. Oh, we are, yeah. Okay, that's actually not too bad then, because we do at least have orbitals available then. That is an invisible enemy there. There's also a red card, which is the 2 of Hearts, which is not quite the 2 of Diamonds I was hoping for, and I'm regretting not taking that speed up because of a situation that I'm currently involved in that I can't easily dispatch of from the look of things. I'm trying to get the Guardian Angel to work there, but it was not working out. It was horrendous. But fair enough, I suppose. I should probably keep the Viz alive because that can actually do pretty decent work with its Brimstone attack there, but it ended up dying because I shot it a lot. So, yeah, fair enough. I'm also surprised that I currently have 4 Guardian Angels around me. I would have expected 3 to be the limit there, but yeah, fair enough. That can end up being pretty good, actually. Don't love this. Again, a situation where I wouldn't have minded a little bit more speed. And that big one can deal, I think, 2 full hearts of damage if it touches me, so that's not great either. One more. We have 5 Guardian Angels right now, so tears don't really do anything anymore, so that's good at least. But we are covered in enemies. With any other character, I think this would more or less be death, because I just wouldn't have the damage available to deal with all of this nonsense with the items that we've gotten so far. But with this particular one, because of the box of friends and everything protecting us as well, it's okay. It's actually okay. It's a lot of Guardian Angels, though. I'm surprised that it's working like that. I'll take the 2 of Hearts because I don't have anything better, I suppose. But if I can get both... I basically just... I think I want to have the friend in a box or whatever it's called. Buddy in a box. And I want to have the speed up. And the rest... Sharp key is good because it gives you 5 keys for the price of 3. But I can't really... I don't think I can afford it. I only have 30 coins, so I'd rather buy the one item that's actually on sale. This is just going swimmingly as well. Yeah, I'd rather have the item on sale, the buddy in a box for the extra friends as well. Part of the conjoined transformation, which I'm guessing will... I'm not sure how that works with this succubus in particular, because I think succubus usually is part of the transformation. But with this one, it might not, simply because it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's part of Lilith rather than the actual item. But we'll see, I suppose. One more wave. It is Monstro and Monstro 2, which is great fun. If we can get Monstro 2 to attack regular Monstro here, that would be ideal. But it's a little tricky to line them up for sure. It's not really working out, but simultaneously I'm not too worried about the tier attacks here because of the large quantity of Guardian Angels currently just swirling around me. That is not going to be the case during the Ultra Greed fight, so that is going to be a little bit of a concern as well. I think regular Monstro just died, so that's also pretty great. You can destroy your friends. And now we just have to do a decent amount of damage to Monstro 2 here. And that will be the end of the fight. So far, so good. I'm a little concerned about my health situation still because it just hasn't really increased at all, and it's not going to increase this floor either. But hopefully we can make something work here. Maybe Devil Deal Angel Room again. It is yet another friend. This would more or less guarantee conjoined. And this is just really good. So this is actually a little tricky. I'm actually, yeah, I think I'd rather just have this for the sake of just filling the room with enemies. We do not yet have conjoined, so I am thinking that this will give it to us, and that it does just work a little bit weird with everything. I'm gonna buy this first, and I don't care too much about the speed up, so I'm actually just gonna push this towards that bone heart. Who knows what we can get from this. If we end up getting like million coins from this, then I might buy that speed up, but other than that, I'm guessing I'm just gonna go to the next floor with an extra bone heart. Okay, that's good. That means I can actually enter my curse room for free. Because there's plenty of hearts there to heal me back up again. We ended up with 2 more coins, so we can at least buy a key on the next floor as well. And that is about that, I think. I don't think I can do anything else on this floor. There doesn't appear to be a tinted rock here. So far, it's not particularly impressive, but also not yet impossible. Let's see if it stays that way. That is another bone heart. Not terrible, but not especially amazing. That's a little bit more damage. I cannot get any of these bombs, unfortunately, unless there's flight in any of the places we're going. That's Tech 2, which is not horrendous. The tears down's pretty rough, since my tears are already pretty bad, but... Oh, and it doesn't actually work. Okay, so that was effectively just a tears down and nothing else. Well, that is very disappointing. Well, that's good to know at least, but I wish I found a different run to find that out on. I guess it makes sense since I have the blindfold, but does that make sense? It's effectively just a machine that you strap on your head. So it's more just kind of annoying that it works that way, but we do have decent damage right now with the amount of friends currently at our disposal. I'm more or less just sticking to one side of the room. I don't like that big enemy combined with the eyes, but fair enough, it's working out. There's another eye over there. I'm really desperately trying to attack it and struggling a lot, but fair enough. The buddy in the box is actually a different friend every time, which is interesting. And the bomb waves are proving to be more of a problem than I had anticipated. Oh god, my tear rate's so bad. I mean, at least the tear rate of the other familiars are unaffected by this, but it's not great, is it? I don't really want to lose that bone heart either, and I don't think I will. But I'm a little concerned for sure. I think I'll leave it at this for now, just in case. And just do the bosses right now. I could use the 2 of hearts. It's a little tempting just to save that bone heart, but I don't know if that's worthwhile. There's 2 more of these as well, which is not great because I don't know where the 3rd one is. And that can also be a problem at times, but it's working out. It's working out. My shot speed seems to be really high, which is interesting. This is not a great wave, but we fought Monstro 2 before, so hopefully it's going to be more of the same. Can't hear him very well, but it's going alright. Yeah, with the amount of babies that we currently have, this is actually fine. It's a little precarious in terms of health, but my tear rate's horrendous. But I think if we have like, well, 2 of each effectively, then we're gonna do at least a decent amount of damage during the fight. I kind of panic used my box of friends there, but hopefully that's not gonna be a problem. We have a buddy in a box that's causing little horn tears, so that was kind of nice, I guess. And this is horrendous. Guppy's collar is not immediately terrible, but it's not particularly great either. Yeah, that's rough. Well, fair enough. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Right. So what do we got? We got a full heart over here. All of these items are not really anything I want, so I might just leave. And since this is not a regular run, we do not take a full heart of damage when we go into that room. So with that, I'm willing to risk that. There weren't any bombs for sale. I could re-roll, but I only have 25 coins and I don't really care that much. So instead, how about we simply leave to go to the next floor. I possibly, if I re-rolled it, could have bought a bomb and turned that into 2 bombs and killed the shopkeeper as well, which ultimately may have been the better choice, but we'll just have to try as hard as we can with what we got. That's fun. So our damage is fine. Our shot speed is getting ridiculous. We have a friend that just looks adorable. It's only going to be for this room, but I really like the round one. And we have an aura, which again, I'm not overly impressed by because we're going to lose it the moment we take damage. This, I'm not sure how this works with Lilith. I am once again curious to try, but I also wouldn't mind trying to get the tier 8 instead. But if flames work, then I'm happy. So I'm just gonna risk it. Let's see if this ends up working out. Give it a minute. In a day or two, I'm gonna shoot 1 flame, or potentially 0 flames at all. And I've once again bought a point. Okay, yes, I shoot flames from Lilith's body. So that's good to know. Once this second wave starts, I can spawn more friends. Not sure what's currently in the room, but I think the flames are more or less dealing with it from a distance, so I can kind of appreciate that. They were surprisingly safe in the bottom of this room here. For now. It's hoping that there's not suddenly enemies jumping on top of me and stuff like that, really, but other than that, it's manageable. Don't like these skull enemies, but if I just stay away from the bottom of the room, then that could be okay. Don't like this at all. Alright, let's add some red ghosts. And they died quickly enough that I don't have to worry about these skulls anymore either, so that ended up working out a charm. The invincible champion died there as well in a way that worked out. Yeah, all in all, it's going alright. Something's making a weird sound. I don't know if one of these babies is shooting some kind of weird sort of semi-explodey tier or something, but it's a weird sound that's continuously playing for sure. I'm a little low on this bone heart right now, but other than that, not really an issue. What is that? Is it that weird cannon? I don't even know what I'm especially looking at, but yeah, it does appear to be that purple tear shot from the farthest one on the right. Strange. But fair enough, I suppose. Krampus and 2 little horns. That's not too terrible. Krampus already dead, which is going alright. Other one's already dead as well. That was barely a fight. Alright, so that's a meat cube. And this is flight. With spectral tears. I don't know if I care too much about the dead dove. I think I care about this a lot more, actually. So with that, let's grab the money we haven't picked up yet. Is there any hearts on this floor? There's half a heart over here. I will get the tier 8 because, let's be honest, it's terrible. And other than that, I don't think I'm going to bother. We're currently on shoal, so the next one's going to be the chest, so we don't really need a key immediately. And the button is surrounded by spikes, which is really the only reason I haven't pressed it yet. I'm gonna go into my curse room, I think. I'm thinking about it. Don't know if I love the idea, but I'm certainly thinking about it. I don't really love the idea at all. I'm starting to realize, the more I think about it, it just sounds like a terrible idea. Yeah, let's just not do that. Let's just go. I mean, there could have been a bed in there or something, and there are some good curse rooms in Greed mode, but overall, it's like, eh. Not gonna bother. This is a tears up at least, which is good enough for me at this stage. This is also a tears up, probably, yep. And that's a range up. This is fine. It's more than nothing. I currently have an empty bone heart, which I'll just fill. And my tear rate's standard. It's not immediately terrible anymore, and I'm just gonna have to live with that. That's at least sort of good enough, you know? Yeah, this is what it'll look like when I'm gonna fight Ultra Greed, I think, so that'll probably be okay. We can use the thing a couple more times. We got a little brim from our taking damage items, so that's pretty good. That is going to end up being 2 little brims during the Ultra Greed fight. We have little Meat Boy over there right now. It's a shame that we once again got Meat Boy rather than the bandage ball, but yeah, fair enough. That's just the way it is sometimes. I kind of feel like I want to do that bandage ball thing when my win streak is back to 0 just to see how far I can take it this time, but it doesn't... My win streak I don't really care about too much, if I'm honest. I think I used my ball of bandage, or my friend box once too many, but I think it's still fine if I do the remaining waves. God. It's so many right now. This is the interesting part about Lilith, at least. You just need to get a follower and then you're gonna be entirely okay. If you get multiple followers like I have, then yeah, obviously it's gonna just be ridiculous. Anything that makes just use the item twice as well is so powerful, but yeah, well. Okay. Scythes are tempting, but I don't really need them. Piercing Tears are good, though. Yeah. Piercing Tears are very good. I'm hoping that I don't die now. That's really my main worry. There weren't any soul hearts for sale here, which I'm a little concerned by. Still no soul hearts. And soul hearts. Alright. So remember that one thing I said about wanting to put as much money in there as possible? Yeah, 2 coins is pretty good, right? I think that's a pretty good amount of money. The Scythes are just gonna attack through everything, so that's gonna be really good. Also, I once again forgot that you get an extra charge in this room as well, because you're gonna have to fight some kind of combination of enemies, so it was fairly likely that we're gonna get a fully charged thing. Probably should have killed the oh, coupon, that's fun. Probably should have God knows. Oh yeah, killed Greed last, but that one was a little bit difficult to make happen, unfortunately. But either way, we have a decent amount of stuff going on here, and I think I probably didn't need to spend all that money over here, but it's fine. I don't need to have my donation machine filled immediately. Hopefully we can get some money here from the shopkeepers on the side as well. But yeah, I wasn't quite expecting to deal as much damage as I currently am, but I was a little bit worried about my health situation with how the rest of this run has gone. So I'd rather not risk it. For now, really the main priority is to at least win. So hopefully we can do that at least. That is money. It's not ideal because he's going to pick up the money as well, but yeah, hopefully we can get some stuff out of this. Possibly when he summons a couple enemies as well. We can get some money out of that, and we can still kind of make this work. It's a little fiddly for sure as a way of making money, but it's not the worst thing I've ever done. I just kind of want him to open the doors at this stage. If he just summons those. I heard a 5 coin thing, so I just ran towards the flames and hoped. It ended up working out. There's another 5 coins right there. So we're making decent money right here, actually. So yeah, that was pretty lucky to get that Eye of the Keeper, because that is going to increase the amount of money we can put into our donation machine by a decent amount from the look of things. The flames that we shoot can destroy those shopkeepers as well, so that's not too terrible either. And I'm just being really greedy about it, about all the money that's currently spawning, and I'm hoping that's not going to bite me in the butt. I don't know where those 5 coins spawn, but I'm pretty sure I heard some. But I'm just gonna keep attacking all the coins that he's shooting for as much money as possible. And just run away from him when I can. We're already at 29 coins in this one fight. So that gives a pretty decent idea of how effective a strategy this is to just find that item somewhere in here. So all in all, not too disappointed. Not too disappointed at all. Should probably keep these key coins alive, but I'm a little frightened, I'm not gonna lie. I'm always a little bit frightened during this fight. It can always go very wrong so very quickly. Take all of that. 37 coins, we still have one phase left. Fortunately, this one dies fairly quickly. I'm surprised he hit me there, but fair enough, I guess. Not even really sure what he attacked me with, but yeah, sure. And so far, the fight is not going great, but if we can just kind of keep this strategy up right here, and his rocks don't mess with us too much. Using the brimstone attack right now. That's some money that he threw at me, which is going to explode if I didn't manage that, so I had to leave. I'm just going to hang out here for a second, I think. Eventually he'll make his way towards me. I don't really need to have him on screen either. That's an important thing to remember. Like, as long as I can just... Yeah, that was horrendous. That was a really mean one as well. I couldn't really avoid that. He was attacking me from several angles and I couldn't get rid of the bomb coin, unfortunately. Oh boy. But yeah, as long... I didn't need to have him on screen because my range is really good, so if I can just keep attacking in roughly the direction where he is, then it should be okay. But those rocks that he sometimes like shoots all over the place can be really bad, and they have been pretty bad this time around as well. But we're nearly done. Just grabbing as much money as I can while we're fighting here as well. But there we go. We ended up with 49 coins, 50 actually. We unlocked duality for completing this with Lilith. We have a 1% chance of jamming the machine from the get-go because we're playing on Greedier mode. But we managed to put in everything, so yeah, those eyes of the Keeper, they provided so much. Can't really complain about that at all. That was so good. And I don't think I have a way to generate more money at this stage, so I guess unless I somehow get money for taking damage. Yeah, that was fairly unlikely. I don't think there's any more money, so with that, I will just leave. And with that, I think I will also call this a run. With Greedier mode, it is always a little bit more intense than I would like it to be, but it is the only thing that I've done with this character so far. But at some point next time in the future, when I lose my win streak, I might just take this character into Greed mode a couple times just to try and manipulate getting a ball of bandages and unlocking the Bandage Girl transformation that way, and as such unlocking a new item as well. But so far, that is the end of the run. I hope you've enjoyed it, and next time we play, I'll do a run as a different character probably, and I hope to see you all there. Bye bye.